starting off, I'm going to get into my brows with the e.l.f. Dip Brow Pomade. And I did not think this stuff was going to work this good, but yesterday I was proved wrong, okay? So I will be using it from here on out. It's just easier to fill in, and it just gives you like a heavy color, and it's also easier to blend it out whenever you going in. I think I'll still use eyeshadow for like my non-dramatic looks, but for my dramatic looks, I'll stick to this because I already have to do enough work. So anybody who knows me, who has seen my old makeup looks, y'all know I just throw my eyebrows on. I used to go live and people would be like, how you do your eyebrows? I'm like, I just throw them on and clean them up afterwards. So I don't know why I just did that. But yeah, sometimes I just do stuff just to do it. I don't know. I'm just random, like how I'm dancing now. To fill in my brows, I use LA Pro in the color Banana and LA Pro in the color Almond. And the brush that I'm using is actually a paintbrush. It's called a Filbert paintbrush, and it'll come in a pack of like 6, I think, on Amazon. If I'm being honest, I think this will be great if you're a beginner because it's really flat and it's really soft, and it just makes it easier. When I started off, I was using like a big brush to try to line my eyebrows up. They didn't have like any options. Now they do have options, but I mean, they cost way more than what you'll pay for like a paintbrush. And I'm pretty much just using my foundation brush to buff out that concealer and get it nice and cleaned up before I go into doing my eyeshadow. Usually y'all would see me going with my moisturizer after this, but because I'm doing such a dramatic look, I'll do the moisturizer after and y'all see why. I know I look crazy, but I'm just checking where I want to place my eyeshadow before I do my cut crease because that's kind of important. And I have hooded eyes, so I usually go above my crease. This first color that I'm using is from an old palette by Morphe called Dare to Create. It's like a dark blue in there. It comes out a different color, but that's because we use a lighter concealer, so a lot of times that will alter the colors. And just make sure you buff that out pretty good because now we're going to go into the Juvia's Place Warrior palette and get that dark brown to deepen up the crease. So when you cut it, it's just going to look so good. It's going to give you some depth. So now I'm going to go into the Juvia's Place Wahala palette, and I'm going to grab that blue. And all I'm going to do is buff out that color some more to just give it like a nice finish so it's not any harsh lines. I was laughing because in my head I was like, I'm going to pull out this Avani Greg palette, and nobody better not talk about how I swatch colors on top of it. But anyway, we're going to use that light blue out of the Avani Greg palette. It is so pretty, y'all. It's like a powder baby blue. It's so pretty. So I'm going to use the same concealer to cut my crease. Y'all see me looking up because that's how I find my crease, and wherever it places it, I'll either go a little bit higher or I'll place it right where that's at. I'm using a Q-tip to clean off all the excess color. So at this point, I'm just continuing to clean it up, and then I'm going to go in with a white concealer, and it's going to give us much better colors. Just watch. So after I'm done filling in my cut crease, I'm just going to get a Q-tip and I'm going to clean it up and shape it how I want it to be. I'm going to start off with the lightest blue that I use, and I'm just going to start patting that in my lid with a small brush. You can use a bigger brush if you want to. This one just helps me get closer to my line. Now I'm using that blue again from the Wahala palette, and then after that I'm going to use the blue from the Juvia's Place palette again, and then I'm going to go over that blue with a dark brown. So now I'm just going to lay down some white in the corner of my eyes. And y'all, for my glitter, I was so disappointed because I could not find my glitter glue. So I ended up just going back into the Wahala palette, spraying some setting spray on a brush and using the pressed glitter. All I'm doing right here is using that glitter as if it's an eyeliner around the cut crease area. To line it up, I'm just going to go in with some white liner right underneath that glitter. And this is why I told y'all earlier to not use any primer or moisturizer because it'll turn your makeup blue. So go ahead and wipe that off with a baby wipe. And then we're going to go in with our moisturizer. After my moisturizer, I like to use dewdrops, and I'll put the link in the description, so don't worry. But watch this glow. I can't stop using this stuff, y'all. For the few people who have been watching, y'all know I've been using my winter shade, but I found an old Fit Me foundation in my old makeup stuff, and it's still good as new. So I mixed it with my Fenty, and it gave me the perfect color. That's why I was looking so shocked in the beginning, because I'm like, please work. After I'm done buffing out my foundation with my foundation brush, I'm just going to start to go in with some almond concealer in all my highlighted areas. So what I do is I let this sit for about 2 to 3 minutes, just so I don't get like those wrinkles and those creases in my concealer, because sometimes when you do, it kills the whole makeup look, y'all. So just trust in me, and if you have time, let it sit. So what I'm doing now is I'm using that same foundation brush, and I'm just blending out my concealer. Nothing too crazy. Just gonna get it blended out, and try to blend it out as much as possible, so that way when you go in with your contour stick, you straight. So instead of using the contour stick, I'm just gonna use some concealer in my darker shades, like what you see on my shoulders, my forehead, stuff like that. I don't mind the darker contours or whatever, but sometimes I just like to be a little subtle, especially when I'm doing really, really dramatic makeup. Or sometimes I just get even more dramatic, but this time I was like, we're gonna do some chill makeup with this. So I didn't choose to use my darker concealers today. I choose to go with something that was more like a really good mix with my skin tone. So I'm gonna just blend it out with my oval brush, and be careful with concealers because they are really light and smooth. What I'm gonna do right here is I'm just gonna go back in with my foundation brush, and I'm gonna buff those colors out to get it real smooth. Once I've gotten it as smooth as possible, I go in with the color Banana in LA Pro Concealer. After I've let this sit for about 2 or 3 minutes, I go ahead and buff it out with the same foundation brush. I'm using some liquid blush by Revolution. I don't know the name of it because my son literally just poured it out this morning, so now I gotta buy some more. Now I'm gonna go in with the powder concealer from LA Pro. I'm just doing light strokes of this before I start to put my banana powder on. This banana powder is from Black Radiance. I have been doing my nose a little bit different lately, so maybe y'all don't want to copy my version of it, but this is just how I do mine. So I don't let my banana powder sit for as long as I used to, but whenever I am done letting it sit for a couple seconds or whatever, I do go in with a powder that is my skin tone, and I dust all of that banana powder off. This is a blush that I found by Black Radiance, and so far it's been doing me justice. It's like a rosy color. I really do like it. It just brings out my blush even more. So 10 out of 10 recommend, yes. After I'm done with my bronzer, I'm going to go in with this light blush from Milani. And I'll put the link in the description as well for this. And then I go on top of this blush with a bright pink eyeshadow. And it's just going to make my blush come out even better and way more smooth than what it would normally come out if I just use the eyeshadow by itself. Now I'm just putting some white in my inner corner of my eyes. And y'all see I'm feeling myself. Y'all can see by the look on my face. I'm just going in and I'm fixing up my nose contour the way I like it. I'm going to go back over it with a little bit more banana powder on the sides of my nose to make my nose look a little bit smaller. Now, y'all know I swear by Fenty Trophy Wife, but I don't think that that color would have just really went as a highlighter for this look. So I decided to go in with one of my cheaper highlighters and like a white highlight. For my lips, I'm going to go in with a brown lipstick, and then I'm going to go in with like a cream vanilla concealer. And for my lip liner, I'm using a cheap pencil I got from the hair store for like $1. For my setting spray, we are going to go in twice this time. And then after the setting spray, y'all know right after we doing mascara. We're going to place our lashes on. And now we are finished, y'all. This came out pretty good. Until next time, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for the support. If you would like to see me recreate a look because you want to learn, hit me up.